Hey, VV Nation, welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. Hope you all had a great weekend. The first trading day of the week. The market looks like it wants to do a little some, and now I'm going to keep you in the loop, in the know of what's going on, give you some good stock picks to keep your eyes on, and talk about some industries that are on the rise for you to keep your eyes on as well. If you can hear me, by all means, respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Loud and clear. Joey, give me the other page so I can see how many people are here real quick. There we go. So I know the alert just went out, or probably is about to go out. Before you can move back, before I get into what's hot and heavy, I'm going to wait, let the people come in. Everybody move to the front of the room to let the people who are coming in. All right, they're slowly but surely coming in. Stop crowding up the space. There's plenty of space for everybody in here. All right, so it looks like Greg is here, Michael Thomas, Coded Kicks. I can't say that word. How do you say that word after Coded's name, Joey? Exotic? Something like that. I can't say it. Listen, once you get all your hairs cut, man, you start losing some stuff. 007 is in the house. What's up, U12 Play 1007? Coming you from M16, MI6, not M16, MI6. Pip, pip, cheer. I don't know that's all right. Hello, Governor. All right. Hey, Glenn from Wiscasset, Maine. Exhaustion high coming. You know, that's a great question, Jersey guy. I'm going to talk about what I think is going on in the market. I think it's a lot of pre-move, because I think a lot of people feel that the Fed is going to pause. I think that's going to make the market move up a little longer for a short amount of time. So I don't know if we get into exhaustive high. Don't know that just quite yet, but we are going to definitely take a little bit of a longer look into what's going on in the market currently. As you can look on our homepage right here, we got two green lights. There we go. We lost one. We got one green light in the color guard pricing column, a lot of yellow. Still don't want you guys to ever lose sight of all of the yellow, no matter what goes on in the market. The market can go up and the market can start to go gangbusters, but watch that color guard. The predominant color you see is yellow. Glenn, JFIN makes me mad. Jay, are you here? Anything that ends in fin, Jay doesn't like. Jay lost a lot of money on a fin stock. But, listen, I did talk about it as a short-term play, and I'm always cognizant of a lot of these plays that jump up a lot. I always want to let you know to be careful with some of those. Some of those may have some credence behind them to move, but some of them just are real short-term plays, and JFIN was one of those. What do you think about the AMC squeeze? I've talked about AMC and GME. I'm not a fan of either one of them. The problem is, well, when I look at GME as compared to AMC, GME doesn't make money. AMC does make money. AMC does make money. And the whole thing with the squeeze and the meme stocks, those are either home runs or strikeouts, Juan. That's what the meme stocks come down to me. Does anybody else agree with me on that? Does anybody else agree with me on that? On the meme stocks, you're either going to hit a home run, you're going to look like a genius, or you're going to strike out and you're going to hate yourself for getting into those stocks. It's really one of those two things. It's not about the fundamentals on either one of those stocks. It's all about the retail investor going after the big boys. That's what it really all comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. VectorVest still rates JFIN as a buy. Can you explain? So, yeah. One of the things that I talk about a lot, just because a stock has a buy recommendation doesn't always mean it's the right time to buy. So I'm going to jump out of the norm real quick. All right. I'm going to jump out of the norm real quick, and I'm going to go into the software somewhere. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to jump into the software. I know, Joe, I didn't look at it yet. All right. When you want to talk about JFIN, again, I normally go through a whole lot of stuff before I go look at an individual stock, but I'm going to take up JFIN real quick. And I think that a lot of people who are not subscribers to the VectorVest software probably have this same question in play. Now, before I go jump on board, before I go into this, we got 200 people in the room. Let's get that bumped up to at least 100 more. All right. I need you guys to share the link to the live stream. Do it now, because a question like this is a great question to answer for a lot of people out there who are thinking about taking on the subscription. You know, we do have a subscription, a trial subscription for 99 cents for 30 days. This is a great question. So JFin, looking at the price compared to value, it is currently undervalued. I like that. Upside potential, relative value is above 1. The stock should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 18% over the next 1 to 3 years. It is in an uptrend. It's got a CI above 1. The stock goes up more than it goes down. Keeping that in mind, that the stock goes up more than it goes down, it does have a buy recommendation. 4 things need to happen for a stock to get a buy. 1, it's got to be above its stop price. It's got to be moving away from the stop price. RT needs to be above 1, and VST needs to be above 1. All of those things are in play for the stock to get a buy recommendation. But what's going on today? The stock is down over 11%. Well, why is that? I don't know. So I'm going to pull up a news on it real quick to see what's pushing the stock's price down. Don't get me wrong, it does have a buy recommendation, but now I've got to ask myself, would I buy that stock today? The answer to that probably is no, down 11%. But if I own the stock, do I rapidly sell it and panic sell out of it? Well, this is Giant. What the heck? JFin, there it is. Quarter 1 earnings call transcript. That was yesterday. Let's tell me, I bet you, good evening, blah, 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 blah. This is the transcript. I don't want the transcript. I'm wondering what they did. Did they miss? They hit or miss? Something tells me that they missed if it's down. That's 21 days ago. Deserve a spot on your watch list. I don't know what they did. So let's go do this. Let's go to, what's the site I want to go to? Earnings Whisper. Earnings. Oh, no. I don't even have to do it that way. Let's do it this way. Investing.com. Let's go to the earnings calendar. Let's go see if they're on here. Did they hit? And that was probably Tuesday, June 13th. Monday, was it today? Checking. Something tells me they missed earnings. All right, let's go. I can't go back to last week. Something tells me that they missed earnings. That's what I got. I got out of a gain on JFin at 100. Glad I did. I see something about Tucker Carlson. Glenn, can I take a screenshot of your AI watch list? Tom, if you've got the VectorVest system, you've got access to that watch list. If you do not have the VectorVest system, if you don't have a trial or a subscription, then no. The answer to your question is going to be no. It's a lot of stocks in there. So 99 cents gets you 30 days, gets you access to that watch list. 99 cents gets you access to that watch list. So I'm going to close. I can close out of this, right? I don't need this. I'm closing out of that. So JFin, yes, it's got a buy recommendation. If you own it, today is a big down day. If you've got stops in place, it might have gotten you out of the stock. Am I thinking about getting into it right now? I do like the upside. I do like it's undervalued. I do like the RT is above 1. VST is above 1. The stock tends to go up more than it goes down. Let's go look at the graph of it real quick. Put it on a 1-month graph. Wow. So the answer to your question is no. It's a buy recommendation, but 2 days ago, prior to today, from a technical standpoint, the 3 and the 8 crossed to the downside on a big down day. That would have been a red flag for me to get out of it, even though it's a buy recommendation. Even though it's a buy recommendation, that's a good point to get out. Does that make sense, 007? All right, so I wanted to answer that question because a lot of you have that question and say, well, your stock's a buy, but it's going down. What gives? Just because the stock is a buy doesn't always mean that it's the right time to buy. Does that answer everybody's question? 007, that's a great question. Does everybody who had that question now understand? Does that make sense to all of you? All right, does that make sense to all of you? The volume is right on par with average volume, Badger. It's right on par with average volume. So I do like that the stop price, by way of the fundamentals, especially with the relative value, the stop price is keeping you in the stock longer. But from a technical standpoint, I'm not feeling that because the 3 and the 8 from a technical perspective went down. Nobody wants to answer my question. Sigh. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes or no? It's Monday. Oh man, Joey, I did this again. I'm breaking my mic up. Sigh. I got too much energy. I got way too much energy. All right. So that's my answer to that question. Just because it's a buy doesn't always mean that it's a buy for you right now. Take a look at the graph. You want us to pay attention? Yes, Mark, I want you to pay attention. So normally, I don't normally go into a stock that quickly, but I wanted to take a look at that because that was a great question. Going back to the home page, I'm looking at now 2 green lights again, up situation. The market is showing us signs that the market wants to move up. So what do? Well, you go to the market timing graph. Let's go to the market timing graph, see what's going on. Let's talk about that. Stock market timing graph. We're still in the program. There's the intraday graph on the VectorVest composite, looking at the levels of being overbought, oversold. Look at that. This is on intraday 1-minute bars. We got to levels of being overbought by RSI. The market pulls back down. We got to a level of being overbought again by RSI. The market's pulling back down. That's intraday. Let's go put this on a 1-month graph. We're sitting at a level of a 1-month high. Put this on a 3-month graph at a 3-month high. 6 month, not at a 6-month high though. And the market is then slowly, I got a whole bunch of lines on here. The market's just slowly bouncing off a level of support, now leveling out of the level of resistance, sitting at the value of 57.95. If the market is going to have more upside, we've got to get past this most recent swing high level of resistance. That's what we got going on. I think we're still in a wait and see. Notice that the RSI on a 3-month graph is not getting us to overbought territory just quite yet. On an intraday graph, it did, but on an end of day graph, not quite right now. So I think everybody's waiting to see what the Fed is going to do on Wednesday. And talking about what the Fed is going to do on Wednesday, let's get into some news, what's moving the market. All right. I'm looking at the Fed. Why the Fed's rate decision will be a last-minute call. I personally think that the Fed needs to go at least 1 more month with a 1/4 basis points rise. Why? Because he's adamantly saying that he wants inflation down to 2%. He's still working on that. Still a lot of work to be done. Here's another story. Joey took mouse. There's another story. Fed backs away from wages focus, bolstering a case for a rate pause. Every time I ask the question in the room about, do you think that the Fed should pause or should raise, I get mixed reactions, and that's fine. None of us in here are the Fed. None of us are going to make the decision. I give you my insight based upon what I see on paper. On paper, I still think the Fed needs to raise interest rates at least 1 more quarter or for 1 more month. Now, a lot of you out there says he's done a lot of raising in a short amount of time and it's da-da-da-da-da-da. I hear you. But they came to the party late like they always do. They're going to overshoot, which they always do. But how about this? All right. Why the Fed will keep raising rates even if it pauses this week. So the Fed has put on the table that even if they do decide to pause, that rate hikes are still on the docket further into the year. So in that vein, I say, then why pause now? Well, because, the raising of the interest rates is a laggard indicator. Let's go see. The Fed needs to say, well, let's sit back and see what we've done, if what we've done is working. Well, I think we can all see that inflation is coming down. It is coming down. All right. Is it at the 2%? No. All right. But they've been adamant about the 2%. I think the problem is they do not want to get caught with their pants down again by calling inflation transitory. If they decide to stop too soon and inflation raises its ugly head again, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to cut harder even on the next round again. So instead of doing that, I'll raise higher on the next round again. Instead of doing that, why not just stay the course? Stay the course. He already said he was going to hurt the economy. The economy is getting hurt. The economy is shrinking. All right. Jobs, on the other hand, though, are still showing signs of growth. People are still spending money, showing signs of growth. So for everybody who's out there saying, oh man, the economy is just getting hurt, it ain't getting hurt as much as you think it is. If people are still willing to spend money, people are still willing to travel and take vacations. We're going to talk about that in a second as well. People are still spending discretionary money that they had and still buying things, even though a lot of us feel that we are in a recession, or are we going to have a soft landing or a hard landing? There's a lot There's a lot of things going on at the same time, and the Fed's got to take all of this in to make a decision on what they need to do. So I think a lot of people are on the side that he's going to pause this week. I don't think he does, but we'll see. I don't think. Now, he may have to succumb to all of the people, for the lack of a better word, whining to him about, you've done too much too fast. You need to pause. He might succumb to that. Or he may just stand up and go, I'm not done yet. You wait until I'm done. All right. So that's what's going on in the economy. We will be live at 2 p.m. on Wednesday when the Fed makes its announcement. Let's talk about some other things. Crude oil lower, demand concerns way ahead of the Fed meeting. All right, so oil is going down. I was a big proponent prior to this of oil going up because the demand was going. All of that has come to the downside. That's not happened. Dan says the U.S. will need to refinance almost half of its national debt in less than 2 years. Let's not forget the interest rates were at 0% for just 15 months ago. How much can we stay at interest rates at 0%? Think about that. And you know something, even with the raising of the interest rates right now, we're still low. Just think about that. We're still low. I think a lot of people forget about that. Yes, the Fed has raised interest rates a lot in a short amount of time. We're still low historically. And I don't think people realize that or are looking at that. More on gold. Goldman Sachs slashes oil prices forecast by nearly 10% as Russian supplies recover. And the last story on oil prices decline on concerns demand is weakening. All right, so 3 different stories, one from Barron's, one from CNBC, and one from investing.com, all talking about oil going down. So in that case, let's go look at my viewers. Let's go to my watch list viewers. Where am I at? Midday market update. Here's the indices today, what they're doing. And again, a couple of days before the Fed is about to announce what he's going to do with interest rates, market's up, but not a lot. The VIX is up, though, today. That tells me that there's an increased amount of fear in the market prior to the Fed announcing on Wednesday. All right. The NASDAQ is up. That's the big mover today, up about 0.6%. But you've noticed that we're going back and forth, even in the colors in our color guard, a little bit more of a volatile day. But the market is up, but not gangbuster up. All right. Let's talk about the big news. So I'm going to look at oil, but I'm also going to look at the play that I would play right now, which would be drip. All right. If oil prices are going down, I would be more on the side of playing drip. Look at that, nicely up about 3.5% today. If I go look at a graph of it, if I'm giving you some stock picks to keep your eyes on with the decrease in oil, I'm looking at that nice bounce off a level of support. I'm going to take off the stop price. I'm going to change this layout to my aggressive layout, my trade layout. There we go. Where we look at the 3 and the 8, I did add the stop price on there anyway. I do like the bounce on the decline in oil. And I got a level of resistance that it's got to get through. If we get through that, we got some upside. All right, so I would keep my eyes on from a stock tip play, looking at drip. Tesla's short sellers down $6.8 billion. I'm still a fan of Tesla long term. Dr. Vic says the Qs may be interesting to look at as a potential to fall hard if it looks like. And listen, I don't disagree with that, Dr. Vic. We'll take a look at that in a minute. What should we do today before the Fed meeting? Amir, my honest answer to you is to manage the stocks that you own. I will give you some stock picks to keep your eyes on today, but if from your portfolio standpoint, I'm going to give you the insight of saying manage the positions that you own. I think we're going to have a little bit of volatility going into Wednesday, and even after the Fed announcement, the market's going to move one way automatically or for right away, then it's going to turn back. You'll just keep your eyes on that. So that's where I would be. How about SMC is way down today? Amir, you know what that is? That's just it taking a break. I still think that the space is a hot space because of AI. I'm thinking about doing a video, another offshoot of AI, talking about quantum computers, why AI, another reason why AI is so hot. I think that's going to be the Friday video this week, talking about quantum computers, adding more fuel to the AI story. So I think SMCI is just taking a break. I don't think there's anything that can pull it down right now with AI being so hot. All right, so Probably people taking profits on it. That would be my thinking on that. All right, let's go into my next story, which is I got a lot of pharmaceutical companies that are taking off. Novartis buys Chinook for $3.5 billion in a race to treat rare kidney disease. Anything that deals with cancer, with high blood pressure, with diabetes, with kidney disease. And a lot of these drugs have the capability of making you guys a lot of money in a short amount of time. So I want you to keep your eyes on Novartis. Ticker symbol, it's not, I think it's NOVO. And sorry, NOVO, Novartis, that's Novo. There is Novartis. And Novartis. There it is, NVS. I'm going to bring that up there. We're going to bring that up there. I'm long in Amgen. That's another stock. I've got some stocks, Dan, that I'm going to show you at the end. My thematic stocks for this week are going to be pharmaceuticals. I'm going to see if Amgen hit the list. Now, Novartis, with that buy of that company down today, fundamentally not a sound company. That doesn't surprise me. A lot of pharmaceuticals are that way. It isn't an uptrend. All right, let's go see. Do they make money? They do make money, but they have a negative 5% earnings growth rate. That bothers me. Let's go move over a little bit. Do they pay a dividend? They do. It's a safe dividend. They're not growing it, though. And that's all I need to know about that. So I'd be careful. This is news driven. It is overvalued. I like the story, but if I'm looking at it from an investment, it's a short-term investment specifically because RT is above 1, but fundamentally not sound. Amir says, do you have the list of the best company in AI and quantum computing? These two will go together. I've got a list of AI stocks. I haven't put together a list on quantum computing. I'm going to get a watch list added for you guys on quantum computing after I do the story on Friday. But we do have an AI list already in here for subscribers to the VectorVest software. If you're not a subscriber to the software, go to www.vectorvest.com/YT. That's YT for YouTube. You can get a trial to the VectorVest software for 99 cents for 30 days. You want that AI watch list? It's in here, right here, special watch lists. Is it special watch list? No. It's overview watch list. We have AI hardware and providers and AI stocks and ETFs. We've got 2 watch lists. AI stocks and ETFs, I believe, have 50 stocks in there. And I think I will get an AI quantum computer put in there. I better go check it then. Amir says you got to be looking in the overview watch list. It's there. It's there. Everybody's got it. If you've got the desktop version of the VectorVest software, it is there. Boston, check that for me. All right, it's there. Everybody have that. I will take a look at that in a minute, Lifestyle. All right, let's go see what other stocks are in the news. All right, another pharmaceutical. Sonoma Pharmaceuticals shares soar 44% after introducing a new product. The new product is to replace IV bags for some surgeries. All right, that's not a half bad thing. So let's go take a look at it. SNOA. Let's go add that to the list. SNOA. Are those AI watch list updated? Only if I've got new stocks to put in there. Only if I've got new stocks to put in there. And I keep my eyes on that space to see if we've got to put any new stocks in there. So from that perspective, it is updated as I make sure that if I find any new stocks that need to be put into it, I add them into there. I had missed the long list. Drew says, thanks. You're welcome, my friend. I had missed the long list when I asked for it, but found it. There you go, Tom. Now, look at that. Sonoma, even with that idea of replacing IV bags, the stock is a low dollar stock, a little bit overvalued, fundamentally not sound. Do they make money? No, they don't make money. So this is also news driven. RT is above 1, so it isn't an uptrend. Let's go view the stock graph on it real quick. Put this on a 1-month graph. News driven, but you know something? I'm not feeling the conviction behind the move. I'm not feeling the conviction around the move. So this is the difference between news and noise. I like the story, but it's not equating out to an opportunity for me at this time. Does that make sense? Yes or no? It's not equating out to a buying opportunity for me at this time. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Surgical include best stocks to own. Intuitive Surgical is a great stock. Dr. DeLito has loved that stock for a lot of years. I'm a big fan of Intuitive Surgical too, even before this boom of AI. Intuitive Surgical has been around for a while. It is a great stock. All right, let's go to my next pharmaceutical that made the news. Where is it? Biogen rises as the FDA panel backs an Alzheimer drug. That's also another big mover for me. Alzheimer easing safety concerns. So that's on Biogen. What is that? BIIB. Yep, BIIB. Let's go take a look at it, see where it sits. BIIB. What does it look like? What's the what? The link for the 99 cents is expired. Joey, is that right? www.vectorvest.com/YT. I'm going to click on it.
No, sir.
It's there? Okay.
It says Memorial Day sale, but it still says 99 cents.
All right, so JP, you gave me wrong information. I'm mad at you now. All right, let's go take a look at BIIB by way of VST. Notice that all the stocks that I'm putting in from the news right now, only one stock's got a VST above one. BIIB, grossly overvalued, fundamentally not sound, short term. All right, so again, news driven, RT is above one. It does have a CI above one as well. Let's go view the stock graph. Is that worth my time getting into it? Let's go 1 month graph. I do like the move up on the news. 3 month graph, it's at a 3 month high, it's at a 6 month high, it's at a 1 year high. But I got a closed candle today. So they know what that means. The price right now is lower than the open, but it did gap up on the news. It never faded the gap. Hasn't faded the gap. Well, actually it did, if that's where it started. It did start to fade the gap, but it's still higher. Oh, there's the gap from, it's still higher than Friday's move. I would wait to see if the stock could get above the current high right now before I jump on board with it. Hopefully that makes sense. Biogen is worth looking at, Glenn. Yeah, I like the move. I do like it's at a 1 month, 3 month, 6 month high. I do like that. I love that the stop price is rising up. Sort of kind of bottom left, top right, a little bit more volatile in the play. I do like the play, but I wouldn't take it today. I would put in a buy stop order higher than the high before I buy. But I do like the news. I'd put in my order about 12 cents higher than the high. All right, that's what I would do. So far, here's my stocks making the news. Biogen, I do like. Novartis, I don't like nearly as much as I like Biogen because the stock does tend to go up more than it goes down. Let's go to the next stock in my list, Pfizer. The first vaccines for RSV are coming soon, just like we did the same thing for COVID-19. Now more and more stocks are going to go on the path to become contenders for RSV. AstraZeneca is in here, Sanofi, GlaxoSmithKline, Pfizer, Moderna are all in there. The jab is only one of a number of RSV immunizations likely to enter the U.S. market in the coming months. And you know something? The COVID vaccines moved a lot of stocks higher. I'm going to look at Pfizer, Glaxo, and mRNA. All right, Pfizer, Glaxo, and mRNA. These are the three. Those out of those companies that are there. AstraZeneca is up there too. What was AstraZeneca? AZN. I'll put that up there too. All right. What did Matt said? Somebody agreed with Matt. What did you say, Matt? I missed it. Trade. Honestly, the best investment ever. Making tons with VectorVest. Wish I had this a year ago. You know, I've heard. Oh, that's what Matt said. I've heard a lot of people say that. You know, I've been with VectorVest for 19 years. I've heard people tell me that time and time again. Glenn, talking about all these low performing pharmacy stocks making me ill. Listen. They're news. On which ones have I said that I liked? Out of all of these so far on the pharma stocks, BIIB. The alert today was talking about pharma stocks on the move because there's a lot of pharma stocks out there on the move. The only pharmaceutical stock in this list that's got a CI above 1 where I would feel a little bit more comfortable is BIIB. You know what else I don't like about all of these stocks in the news? They're all holds. Only one is a sell. Interesting, huh? 19 years. You get your yacht yet? Name it. Power of the program in your pocket. It would be the power of the program in your pocket. That's what my yacht would be. That's what my yacht would be. So AstraZeneca, Novartis, Pfizer, mRNA, and GlaxoSmithKline. Notice that Moderna's at the bottom of the list and the sell. GlaxoSmithKline, a little bit undervalued. I like that. Good upside potential. Notice that the only two with good upside potential are GlaxoSmithKline and AstraZeneca. Which ones are in an uptrend? AstraZeneca and Novartis. Which one is a 3-time loser? Moderna. This may be big for Moderna if they can get a drug out there, because short term, if the RSV drugs move, if the vaccines move these companies, just like the COVID vaccines move these companies, Moderna would be a bottom fishing play. All right, enough to move it. Fundamentally not sound, and they ain't making money. They are making money, but look at that negative earnings growth rate, negative 10%. Don't like it. All right, so if I'm looking at any of these stocks, Pfizer's the big name on here. Let's move this over. Pfizer's the big name of here, but Pfizer's got positive negative earnings growth rate. AstraZeneca, positive earnings growth rate. So there's a difference in whether I like these stocks short-term or long-term. AstraZeneca, I do like long-term from an earnings perspective, and it's fundamentally sound. It's one of the only ones on here that's fundamentally sound. All right, let's go take a look at the graphs of all of these. All right, so this is from the RSV. Put this on 3 months graph. AstraZeneca, though, man, I like it long term, but I need it to get above that level of resistance. Love the move, though. Bottom left, top right, a little bit of a channel. The stop prices and the volume is there. RT is above 1, but it's low. It's slowing down. I think this news could turn the stock around from an RT perspective. Novartis, same thing. Pfizer, though, looks like it's ready to rock and roll now. But relative value below 1, relative safety above 1, CI below 1, positive earnings, negative earnings growth rate. But I do like the price action on it. All right, I do like the price action on it. Let's go to the next one. Wow, Moderna's at the bottom of the list for a reason. That stock is just going nowhere. The news that it could be moving if it gets an RSV vaccine out there, I want you to keep your eyes on it from a short-term perspective. That way, GlaxoSmithKline, the 3 and 8 are about to move down as well. So those are my pharmaceutical stocks, not all of them that I do like. How about this? Carnival Group upgraded at JP Morgan as cruise demand shows 0 signs of slowing. So now we talk about the economy being hurt. You know what's moving and people are taking advantage of? People are flying and they're paying more money to fly. People are cruising. They're paying more money to cruise. Why? Because of inflation. So when we sit back and we say that the Fed needs to pause because people are spending money. People spending money is a sign of a stronger economy, stronger than the Fed needs it to be. Stronger than the Fed needs to be. Does that make sense to everybody in regards to whether he should pause or not? Yes or no? Does that make sense to everybody in regards of whether he should pause or not? Because the whole idea is to shrink shrink the economy. He's doing that. But people are still, resilient enough right now because they're not that hurt. They're not that hurt to be spending money. The Fed is like, and that's why he has these decisions, these tough decisions to have to make every race. So let's go look at Carnival, CCL. I'm going to put in a couple of others in here. CCL, I'm going to double click on CCL. Christ the King says, hi, Glenn, can you take a look at MBOT? Somebody wanted me to take a look at that on our YouTube channel. I saw that in the chat. I'm going to probably do a short video on that this week. All right, I'm going to do a short video on that. Now, every time I see a whole bunch of people talking about a stock, it's normally a pump. I tell you that because every time, hey, you need to do this. You need to look at this. You need to look at this. You need to look at this. And I see more and more people telling me that I need to look at it. It's normally a pump. but I will do a video on it nonetheless. Credit card debt ready to set a record. Already talked about that on time and time again, that we're going to have a credit issue because people are deferring payments. Yes, people are willing to fly. They're going to put it on their credit cards. People are willing to sail and go on vacation. They're going to put it on their credit cards. There's going to come a time when you got to pay the piper and you ain't going to pay the piper. That's going to be a big problem. That's going to be a big problem. All right, we'll see. Let's do this. I'm going to put MBOT up here real quick. If it goes to the bottom of my list, I'm going to be mad at you, Crisis King. I'm telling you ahead of time. MBOT, I'm going to put, let's go see that first. MBOT, no period. MBOT, where's it at? Where is it at? I'm going to tell you, it's not at the bottom. All right. Grossly overvalued, not fundamentally sound. I do think though, by way of I've talked about it. I think that's in my list, my AI list. I think that's one of the stocks that's in my AI list. What I don't like about it, they don't make money yet. It's still negative earnings. I'm sure that they don't pay a dividend either. And they don't, no sales. Well, it's an ETF. Is it not an ETF? No, it's not an ETF. They got no sales. Am I right or wrong? Hold on. No, they ain't got no sales. Wait a minute. There's no sales. Why am I going to tell you to go buy and jump on that? And it's a drug, but they ain't got no sales. How are you going to tell me to go do a deep dive on it? Grossly overvalued, not fundamentally sound. It is going up in price. Probably something's pushing it up. Don't know what. It's a hold. It's got a VST just at 1. Negative earnings. Negative. I told you. Every time somebody comes up and tells me, hey, you got to look at this stock. You got to look at this stock. Gosh darn it. I'm breaking my mic again. You got to look at this stock. They ain't selling nothing. I'll still take a look. If I can make a story out of it, if I can make a cohesive story out of it, something that's worth telling you to look at, I will. If not, I won't. All right. I'm just being honest. I'm being transparent. All right. But I think it's in my, it can't be in my AI. That's not, maybe that's another bot. But yeah, this is a medical stock. What just happened, Joey? Did you just do that? Joey just did something. All right. I'm just not sure that I want to take a look at putting this into a story just quite yet. All right. Now, when I look at Carnival, I want to look at some of the other big names that's out there. Probably Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Carnival. I think Carnival's already up there. What else? I'm going to take those. Add those to my watch list. Add to watch list. Put that into midday. Go put that into big news. Let me add those. Why is the VA calling me right now? I can't talk to them. All right, so I added those. Royal Caribbean. Look at that. For a bunch of people who are wondering what the Fed should do. Look at this. Royal Caribbean. Good upside potential. Norwegian. Good. Notice that the shipping, the cruise stocks that I just put in, all have a VST above 1. People are spending money. It really goes down to that. The Disney lines, I don't think that there is, move this over. I don't think that there is a one for Disney itself. Planet Fitness. How is Planet Fitness in here? Carnival, Six Flags. Oh, I understand. All of the stocks are in the space. I don't have a Disney one. I think it would fall under Disney. But you just notice, and for everyone who's saying that we need to pause, look at this. People spending money. How about Carnival is up 14% today? That was in the news. That was one of my news. I sit back. JP Morgan analysts upgraded shares of Carnival to overweight from neutral, raising the price target to $16 from $11. Royal Caribbean's in the lead, in there, is raising the price target. Norwegian is in there. I can't see it. I can't see it. John says maybe MBOT will be the next AMD. I feel like all of these robotic MBOT is, unless I'm looking, see now there we go. I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to call it the next AMD just quite yet. I need to look into that. Again, if I can make a story about MBOT, I will. If I can make a story about MBOT, I will. That's in line with probably the intuitive surgical side of it. If I can make a story about it, I will. I'm just looking at it fundamentally, just looking at it. I don't like the stock. The stock tells me that it's not a good play. Let me dive into it and see. So when I look at what's going on in the economy, people are spending money to go and travel. I don't know. I'm definitely interested in microbes. Thanks for pointing them out. You got it, Angel. No problem. No problem. All right. What else is on my list? Real quick. Citigroup opens negative catalyst watch on U.S. Bank Corp. Remember I told you that we've still got some ways to go on these regional banks. Nobody's talking about it right now. Nobody's talking about it right now. Let's go look at where USB sits in the list. Nobody wants to talk about it. Where's it at? Where did it go? Right here. It is undervalued. Good upside potential. Safety not there. Not going up more than it goes down. I'm sure that they're making money. They are. And positive earnings growth. I'm telling you to keep your eyes on some of these banks. I made somewhere in the near future. I got another thing on my list. Regional banks to short. That's something else that's on my list. Regional banks to short. Look for a video on that within the next couple of weeks. All right, so I'm just putting that out there. They raised a bunch of money after they reported 100% success on their robotic surgeries on animals. All right, and that's fine as far as MBOT, but they ain't making no money yet. So maybe the news is there, but I need to see if the news is going to translate into opportunities for you to make money. That's the big thing. All right, 522, Microbot Medical, the developer of the surgical robotical, the first single-use endovascular robotic system, announced a highly successful extended joint preclinical animal study held. All right, so you guys are giving me the fodder to be able to look at this. I will look. It's got to be a story that really makes sense. And you know something, this could be a speculative play. Let me argue the point. If I can get the data, let me argue the point of it being a speculative play, because it definitely is that at this particular point in time. All right, so again, I'm going to be thinking about a video on banks to short, especially. I think that there's a lot more to come from this. GM to invest $632 million to produce next generation pickups in Indiana. That's big for Indiana as far as jobs. But this also goes to show that even though they're moving some of their business segment into the EV space, I want you to read this. The investment in Indiana is further confirmation that the company plans to continue to spend on its traditional operations to assist in funding its emerging electric vehicle business. So even though they're starting to migrate towards that way, they're going to, you know why? Let me tell you why. People want to spend the money on the big trucks. Wait a minute. If we're supposed to be pausing because everything is all jacked up, people are spending money, folks. So again, when I watch these stories on no matter which industry it's in, I can't see us pausing. All right, that's all. Angel says, I'm going to do some research on them tonight. Thanks. You got it, Angel. They are pre-revenue, so they don't make a ton, but have finally developed their robotics and are just starting to make sales worldwide. Again, Christ is King. I'm going to take a look. I'll do a story if I can make it work. All right, that's on GM. Let's put GM in my list. We got a lot of stocks today. GM. Let's go to the next story. Next story is XPeng. Now let's talk about EVs. XPeng. XPeng stock pops as pre-sales for its answer to the Tesla Model Y. XPeng is in China, just like Boyd. Model Y surge. So these are pre-sales orders. Now the other side of this is, are they going to be able to supply? That's where the rubber meets the road. Are they going to be able to supply? So let's go look at XPeng. All right, XPENG. XPEV. There we go. Where does that fall in the list? Let's go take a look. Towards the bottom, right next to Moderna. Overvalued, not fundamentally sound, but this is pre-sales orders. So the news, is it going to be enough to push this into the positive territory? We'll see. NEO up over 8% today, but they had bad news. I just did an article for USA Today. I don't think they took the story, but talking about best EVs, NEO was on my list as a speculative play. NEO was on my list as a speculative play. But I've always said that all of these EVs, the best way to determine whether or not they're good or bad or indifferent is because the demand is high. The demand is high for EVs. Can the companies meet the expectations of delivery? And when they can't, that's going to hurt the stock. The news is great. I love that Lucid is so expensive, but people are buying it. Again, another scenario where people are spending money. They're spending in excess of $100,000. If you got the money, $100,000 for an all-electric Lucid LCID stock. All right, but that's the only EV out there that's got a range of 500 miles. 500 miles on a charge. All right, one last story. The U.S. to allow South Korea, Taiwan semi chip maker to keep operations in China. I'm not sure how I feel about that. TSMC or TSM, Taiwan Semi is another good company in that space. My two best companies in there are still going to be NVIDIA and SMCI, but Taiwan Semi undervalued, fundamentally sound. I do like that many of these chip companies are fundamentally sound. But I'm not sure how I feel about that. Going to still keep doing operations with China. Listen, it's all about the money, right? It's up 3.5% today. All right, so if I'm looking to buy any of these stocks from the news today, I start off by looking at percent price change. CCL, news-driven. XPES, news-driven. Norwegian, news-driven. Oil, news-driven. TSM, news-driven. MBOT, nicely up today, even though you want me to do this story. News-driven. Pfizer for RSV, news-driven. Royal Caribbean with the travel ships. BIIB bought a company. General Motors, investing in your regular trucks to offset and spend on the EV side. I'm looking at all of these stocks. If I'm going to think about getting into them just based on today's activity, let's go see. That was a directive from the chairman, 007. From what? What are you talking about? Tesla's Model 3 cheaper than Toyota's Camry in California with tax benefits. And you know something? One of the biggest things that people were against me on when I talked about looking at EVs were the price of the cars. What did I tell you was going to happen? That the prices were going to go down. They were going to go down because the demand is high, and that's supply and demand, right? That's typical supply and demand. The people want these cars. You want to sell them, you're going to drop the prices. All right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So there was a lot of people on the channel that were against the whole idea of the EVs because the government were pushing it. But however you want to look at it, my idea was, can it make you money? I don't care what the government does. I don't care what the politics are behind it. My idea is, are you given the opportunity to make money? I like Carnival. Nicely moving up on above average volume. I'd go 5 cents higher than the high. XPEV, I love the bounce off support. Now moving up, the 3 and the 8. Little wick at the top, but nicely moving up. What else? Man, Norwegian. That was my first ship I ever went on. I went on it this year. Love the ship. But look at that. These are companies, even though they're news driven, they're moving. Drip, I'd wait on. TSM, the news about still doing business with China, I don't know how that's going to affect them adversely. It is moving to from the bottom left to the top right. MBOT. Now, again, stock is just leveling out. The volume, folks, ain't there. I understand what you're telling me about it. Maybe this could be something that people are not talking about that maybe I need to talk about. I'll talk about it if I can make a story. All right, so I keep saying that. Pfizer, big name in the industry as far as drugs, getting closer to an RSV vaccine. That's going to be big for them. Look at this. All of the travel, people are willing to spend money, folks. But we're talking about pausing. People are willing to spend money. The economy is still strong, stronger than the Fed wants it to be. BIIB, I'd watch out for that. And GM, I'd like to see it take out that 1 month high. All right, we spent a lot of stuff on the stocks that I would think about you guys getting into today. I'm going to go real quick. Where is the money today? Where's the money going today? Have a good day, Lifestyle Coach. Let's go see where the money's going today. From all my ETFs I got set up, uranium and lithium, commodities. Look at that. Uranium is up 2% today. The trust is up. The Spider Trust SBI. Lithium. The Qs are up today. Where's the money not going? Oil, gas, energy, gas, copper. That's another commodity that I do like, but it ain't working right now. Real estate, financials, gold, all of the places that I would stay out of. Uranium is looking sweet. I do have a couple of uranium plays that I would love for you to take a look at. Let me give you some more stock picks for this week. MPI. I didn't do MPI. I didn't do phase 3 drugs this week either. Sigh. Oh, well, sorry about that. Theme stocks for this week. I think on my pharma stocks, I did look at some CPRX. I like ASRT. Now, some of these stocks I do like because CIs are above 1. If I'm looking at pharma stocks, I've got 3. Now, and guess what? They're holds and sells. I think that the space is about to start to move again. I think the space is about, especially if people are going after new drugs, especially after RSV drugs. Here's some stocks. Pfizer's the only one on here that way. CPRX, I help people make a lot of money on CPRX. It's on the rise again. Keep your eyes. And it's a sell because it's gotten beaten down. This could be a good early entry. Excuse me. This could be a good early entry on the stock. We've seen what it's done in the past. I do like coming off support. The 3 and the 8 just crossing. I'd like it to get above its stop price before you pull the trigger on it. Hey, John. All right. Real quick. Let's go take a look at some of your stocks. Now, any stocks you put in before I said it just now, I'm not paying attention to. All right? I keep telling you, I'll let you know when I want you to put your stocks in. I'm looking at the stocks that you enter now. I'm going to look at about 10 of them because we're sitting at 1251. I'm going to look at about 10 of them. Type in your stocks that you want to take a look at. All right? Now everybody wants to clam up and be all quiet and not type. Hey, I'm only take one per person. AMD, comma, BTI, 2. AMD, BTI, SI, AMD, comma, BTI, 2, comma, Fix, 3, FN, 4, MS, 5, HXB, 6, MDC, 7, QQQ, 8, ORLY, 9, ALB, 10. All right, there's my 10 stocks. Again, this is the only way I'm going to get you guys to realize and not put stocks in until I ask you to. Then this is the way it's going to have to be. I love you all to death, though. All right. So looking at the list, Fabrinet, top of the list by VST. Nice VST at 1.52. Undervalued, good, fundamentally sound stocks. I like that. I do like the stock. CI, though, I'd like to be more than one. Earnings, positive earnings growth. I like it. Fix. Comfort Fix, a little bit overvalued, fundamentally sound. I do like it. CI above 1. I do like that play. Earnings, positive earnings, grow their earnings at a clip of 21%. Albemarle, nicely undervalued, fundamentally sound. I do like that stock. Man, they grow their earnings at a clip of 44%. Who do you love the most? Says Jake. I can't say that in the room because I'm going to hurt everybody's feelings. So there. O'Reilly, overvalued, fundamentally sound. I do like it. Earnings per share, positive and growing at 17%. AMD, again, everybody knows how hot the space is. Perception is driving the stock's price so high, so much higher than the value. Fundamentally, halfway decent. The company makes money, but the upside potential is not there. But I think that this is strictly news driven by way of AI. MDC, a little bit overvalued, relative value below 1, relative safety above 1. Company makes money. Woo, but they're growing. Watch this. They're growing their earnings at a clip of -7. Let me go take a look at that stock on a graph. Earnings growth. Put that on a 3-month graph. I'm going to pop to the downside. But I like the equity curve. The graph looks great. Price action looks really good on MDC. I'd play this 12 cents higher than the high. I love the stop price as a level of support. I like the move on MDC. Let's take a look at the rest of these on a graph real quick. All right. About 3-month graph. There's the Qs right at a level. It's getting tired though. Right at a level of resistance sitting at 357.66. Keep your eyes on that. I think again with the news from what's going on, I do like the Qs. The tech stocks, AI tech stocks, been going. All right, and it's been pretty steady. Not a lot of volatility in here. I do like that. I'd wait though. I think Wednesday is going to be the telling sign for a lot of these stocks. XHB, home builders, man. Bottom left, top right, right at the level of resistance. Right at the level of resistance. I'd look at 12 cents higher than the high, but 4 days in a row, leveling out, for the most part, still above the average volumes as well. MS, Morgan Stanley, like the bounce off support. Look at that. Like the bounce off support. Never went below the stop price here. Broke through a level of resistance right here. I do like that. Let's go see if we get some more follow through. And RT just went above 1. I like the move. I like the move. Next one is BTI, tobacco. I'm not feeling that. Stock's going down. Now, the earnings growth is going. I like that the earnings growth is going, but the stock's price is falling. I need this stock. I got a couple of levels here. I got a level of a swing high here, a swing high here. I got a couple of levels for it needs to break out of. And the 3 and the 8 just went negative today. I'd be very careful with that. So that's all the stocks that you put in here. BTI is at the bottom of the list by VST. We just saw the graph that said, But let's go take a look real quick at these at the top of the list. Oops, at the top of the list before we go, right click, view the stock. Yeah! Man, I'm moving my hands way too fast today. I'm fat fingering everything. View the stock graph. Put this on the 3-month graph. Fabrinet, a lot of volatility in it. I like the nice move on it today. Probably something, I don't know if that's earnings. No, it's not earnings. Something's moving it today, but a lot of volatility in the stock. Right now, I'm going to tell you probably there's going to be some profit taking. We'll keep our eyes on that. Earnings growth is dropping a little bit. Fix is moving up. Bottom left, top right, a little volatility, but still staying above the stop price. Nice new 3-month high today. Watch the earnings growth, but price action shows me I like the stock. I like the stock. I cannot lie. Albemarle, leveling out at a level of resistance, sitting at the value of about 222.89. All right. I like the bounce off support, the 3 and the 8. Now it's pulling back off that level of resistance. I'd be careful with that one. All right. I'd be careful with that one. O'Reilly's just falling. All right. From the high, there's nothing. Look at that, with the exception of that big wick, right? Yeah. It's just trending down. Now, I do like the bounce off support. Let's go look at this. 2 days, it went above that level of the trend line to the downside, but wasn't able to sustain above that. That catches my attention. I do like the earnings growth pop. The stock went from a buy to a hold, but I need to be able to get my way out of that downtrend. Last stock is AMD. Again, AMD, SMCI, any stock almost in that space. Almost any stock in that space because of AI. The AI movement is going to be a good play. I still like all of them. All right, with that. Man, that was a lot of stocks. We went through a lot of stocks real fast today. We talked about a lot. I still want you guys, I got you. I still want you guys to keep your eyes on what's going on. Excuse me. Drag that over, Joe. You can't. I want you guys to keep your eye. You can't. I got it. I'll take it. On what's going on in the market, especially what's going on Wednesday. That's going to be a big mover of the market, and I think the market's going to be looking at a lot of that coming into, what just happened there? Coming into the week. All right. Did I take something? No, I got it. We got something free for all of you out there called the VectorVest Portfolio Challenge. Go to www.vectorvest.com/what? PC for portfolio. PC for Portfolio Challenge. It's free. All right. It's free. And it's a couple of things I want you to keep your eyes on. Introducing the Portfolio Cleanup Setup Challenge. Free. Become an expert at stock analysis. An expert stock analysis. Know when to sell and weed bad stocks from your portfolio. Know when to buy and put probability on your side. Know when to buy and to cherry pick great candidates. Know what to buy and cherry pick new candidates. And simplify your day. Look at this. Simplify your day with a 10-minute management plan. Folks, you're getting all of that for free. www.vectorvest.com/PC. It's free. All right. Especially for those of you who are not subscribers to the software, you want to be able to take care of these 5 steps and do it. We're going to walk you through on each one. All right. Now we got to go. All right. Thank you guys for being here. We didn't get to 300 people. We did get over 200 people. You know me. I want to talk to as many people as I possibly can. I think that we give really good information. The webcast is free, Moses. So don't try to spread no disinformation in my chat. It is free. What did I say? This webcast is free. This webcast is free. I don't know where you getting $18. Don't be putting that in there if it ain't true, please. I'm not all about that. This is a free webcast series. All right, that's all I got to say about that. Don't put that up in here. It's a free. You want to go? Go. If you don't. That's all I got to say about that. With that all being said, can you show us the stock to buy this week again, please? Aviad? Nope. I walked through all of this stuff. I keep this stuff up here. Guess what? It's going to be recorded. It's going to be on the site in a second. You can go back and look at all of that. All right. Badger says, hey, Glenn did a good job presentation on the YouTube last Friday. It's free on the VectorVest YouTube channel title. There you go. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bon dia. Salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until next time, folks. See ya.